Hi there, my name is Will Johnson. I'm a cloud solution architect at Microsoft, working with customers who are really passionate about data governance and their big data needs.
Hello, I'm Arnaud. I'm a product manager on Azure Synapse Analytics. I'm especially working on the platform of Synapse and also connected services, and Azure Purview was one of the big things that I worked on.
Hello everyone, my name is Chandru and I'm one of the product managers at Microsoft, currently working in Azure Purview team. I'm working on some of the platform capabilities like the data discovery lineage, and I partner with Arnaud to have the integration with Synapse in Purview.
So in my work as a CSA, I've been working with customers doing a lot on our platform, discovering their data in different locations and really trying to understand how can we get a handle on all that data. Currently, they've been using a lot of self-built tools to kind of keep track and manage these things. But then along came Purview, and we started to actually be able to analyze this data and get insights into that data. However, they're also starting to bridge into things like Azure Data Lake Gen 2 and being able to work with Azure Synapse as well. So I'd love to understand from the both of you, how is Purview starting to work with Azure Synapse, and what's the future for Azure Synapse and Purview's integration?
Yeah, so we have been doing a lot of integration with Synapse in particular. Our first click stop that we have launched a few weeks ago, even last week in Ignite, is basically a way for a Synapse user can go and connect a Purview account, and immediately they will be able to start discovering metadata in Purview right from within the Synapse, right? So what the Synapse users are now going to get is the power of all the data governance and the data discovery aspects right from within Synapse. And yeah, Arnaud can talk a little bit more about what are the next things that's happening within the Synapse.
Yes, as everybody with a data consumer or producers, they need to, it's their journeys with data and insights starts with data discovery. And before those data discovery was kept a bit tribal, and having that Purview integration into Synapse provide our core users, data engineers who are producing data, data scientists who are as well producing data, but also consume data, and data analysts who are on Synapse can now discover data, not just Synapse data, but all data, metadata from Purview. And what we also develop and expand on is the ability to integrate with Synapse runtime. So, like you are going to be able to query with Synapse SQL or Synapse Spark some data sets in Purview. And of course, you can as well integrate and into Synapse, using Synapse pipeline that data. So we offer that kind of like data discovery and data exploration out of the box for Synapse users.
And does that include things like, being able to scan columns for sensitive data, to be able to pick up on that kind of information? Like if I happen to have a social security number that's not named social security number inside of my data warehouse, is that feature also going to be present in the Synapse features as well?
Yeah, that's the best part of the integration, right? So the way you can think about it is now the Purview knows about your Synapse databases, and at the time of scanning, we also extract the schema, the classifications, the PII, sensitivity, all that information, right? And when that integration is available in Synapse, you are immediately going to get a visibility on, okay, here is my credit card numbers, are social security numbers, email address, and whatnot, right? So that integration is basically going to be lit up in Synapse out of the box. So Purview integration is bringing in those flexibility of understanding where my sensitive information is right within it.
Wow, That's incredible. And Arnaud, I mean, how quick can somebody do some of this stuff, right? Like, I mean, is this like a a 6-month effort to get these things all built together, or is it like Chandru saying, out of the box kind of solution? How quick can I actually go from I got my data warehouse full of data to actually understanding what's in my data warehouse for the maybe the non-expert to get insights into that?
I will say it's a matter of hours maximum to go into Purview, register, and scan the data. The databases that you have in your workspace is super fast, and using Purview, you will see, like in a quick demo, like the integration connection with Synapse is also very simple. And the good thing as well, I wanted to say, we pass through the permission. So if you don't have access to Purview, you need to get access. If you need to, if you have curator role, you will be able, especially as a data engineer who's creating new data, will be able as well through the embedded experience to edit the metadata. So like you don't need to switch back and forth between different applications. So it's super fast.
That's amazing. So guys, I'd love to see some real experiences here. Can we jump into a demo?
Sure. Let me start with a demo in Purview. So the scenario we are going to set here is, I spun off a Purview account and I'm an admin in Purview, right? And I want to bring in the data in my enterprise under the management. So Synapse is one among the data sources, like Synapse Workspace. We just rolled out last week that we will be able to scan your entire workspace or even your resource group, and there you can define specific workspaces, one or more, right? For the next demo, I'm gonna show how, as a Purview admin, you can once you have the Purview instantiated provision, go and set up a data source connection, start scanning it. I'm going to show it in show a quick demo on it. So yeah, so here is my Purview account. So for this demo, what I'm going to show is I'm going to be able to go to the data sources page, start spinning up a new scan for one of the workspaces that I have. So in this homepage of Purview, you go to the sources section, and in the sources section, you have a table view of all the sources registered, or you can go to a map view where you can nicely organize the data sources by collection. In this case, for example, I have this collection called finance. I can start registering a new source. You can see that Synapse is now available. I wanted to quickly register Synapse as a new source. Let's say that I wanted to pick up a workspace. In this case, right, I have a workspace here. I quickly register and it's already available. As you can see here, it is not attached to any collection, but I can also edit it to be able to add to one of the collection or create a new collection. Let's say that I wanted to create a new collection called marketing, and create one and make it as a parent of USA. As you can see here, the new collection marketing is showing up, and I have this Synapse workspace attached to it. So for today's demo, I'm gonna set up a scan for existing workspace. Clicking on this little icon will create a new scan button. You can see here I can scan all of the SQL databases, both the dedicated and serverless. I'm going to pick up dedicated SQL and serverless SQL right here. It's that simple. I click continue. I can set up any scan rule. In this case, I'm going to take it as system default. Click continue. I can set up a recurring schedule, but for now in the demo, I'm going to click once and save and run. Right. Once it is done, I can go into the details to see what are the runs that is currently happening. Here you can see one scan is already complete, and another scan is in progress. Well, it's complete as well. So the status of each of the scan can also be available right here. So for the previous scans that is complete, I can go into the home page of Purview. I can simply start browsing my assets in Purview. Here is the Synapse Analytics workspace. You can see here that the workspace has these different schemas. I can start browsing here, clicking into the details. It opens the actual table, schemas. If there is any classifications, it will show up here. If there is any lineage, it will show up here. And in the related section, I can see the hierarchy of where this table is associated. And from here, I can switch into the other tables, the sales or customers or whatever in that specific hierarchy. I can also edit this specific table to add additional attributes. I can add a column classification. In this case, it's a city. Let's see, location with some lat long information, or contains city code, right? And saving it. Now I will be able to add additional description and let anyone else discover this specific table. I think that's what I have from a browse experience or the discovery experience from Purview.
Wow, Chandru, that was awesome. Thank you so much for showing us how that scanning process works for Synapse Data Warehouse. It'd be great to now kind of understand, once I have all that data scanned, well, what can I do with it, right? I know that it's out there in Purview. I know that my business users can discover it, but how can I get this up and running quickly, and how can I get some insights out of this data rapidly?
So yeah, sure. Let me show you how I, as a Synapse user, now I'm going to connect my Purview, the Purview account that Chandru has worked on to my to the Synapse workspace. I want to say as well that multiple Synapse workspace can connect to the same Purview account for sure, but you only connect to one Purview account. So let me get Purview account. It's as simple as this, where I'm going to connect it, apply the connection. So this is not really a linked service. We are doing a more like deeper backend integration between Azure Purview and Synapse. Like in the use case today, it's about how I can consume information for Purview, but in the future as well, we'll send information to Purview automatically. So now let me go here. I'm going on my data, and I want to look for some of the information that I have on Purview. Let me go over that. I want to look at data warehouse. I'm going to look at this one that has been, and I want to look at this pool. Okay, the same way Chandru showed you. I can see as well the same, like information. Because on the Purview account, I have as well access to edit the data. I can now go from Synapse, and I can as well edit and add details about the database. I can add as well contact. So let me put as the owner, Chandru, and let me put Will Johnson, a lot of Will Johnson, I'm sure, at the company, but yeah, Will Johnson as an expert. So now when people will look for information, they can go, and ask as well Will about data, And so, for example, if I go here, it will be able to look as well for who is the contact. So really, like we make, I like to compare that. Our goal is to delvify data thanks to Purview and Synapse integration. I wanted as well to show you how I can connect to data outside the workspace. So let me go just get some, I like to look at that, some of the data lake data that exists. And to me, I consider it as a mini browsing experience as well here. And I want to connect to this,
this area. And let's say I want to go into the playground. So now I'm going into the playground. That's where we have a lot of different data. And I'm going to go into the browse and look for some of the data that I had about sales. And I'm going to look, same thing, I can see the data in the data lake. So it's really like you can now power your business user to find any kind of data lake, data warehouse, and even outside Azure. You know, like I think we just announced recently that you can now scan on other data sources like Amazon S3, you know. So we provide true like discoverability, but as well integration. So let me look at the schema. And you know, that's the kind of data that I might be looking at. So I'm going to use some SQL script that will start looking at, you know, to analyze deeper like the data. It's only, here I'm using serverless SQL, so I only pay for what I'm using, which is, you know, in the top 100. It's not going to cost much, like a penny. And so like that's where I see the data. The type of data I want. So let's say that now I want to go and I want to connect this data. So what I'm going to do, I will do straight an integration data set, and I will you know, connect to this, and I will you know, like bring that as a new integration data set in Synapse from there. So that's to show you as well the ability for Synapse to, you know, like analyze in Spark, SQL, or as well use data flow and integrate it. We do today data lake, Parquet, files. We'll do resource set as well. So we are going to expand more and more like the integration, and you will see a bunch of continuous improvement and integration of those runtimes with Purview metadata. Thank you.
Arnaud, wow, that was amazing. I cannot believe how seamless it's going to be inside of the Azure Synapse Studio. Like that's incredible how fast my customers and my peers are going to be just starting to use data that they discover inside of Purview. So Chandru, Arnaud, thank you so much for your time. This was an incredible overview of what's coming and what's available now inside of Purview. So thank you both for everything you've done for the product.
Thanks, Will. Thanks, Arnaud.
Thank you, Will. Thanks, Chandru. Bye.
Bye.